the young and the restless spoilers. Hey, everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today is an absolutely wild day in the soap world. And honestly, we need to sit down and process what just happened on our screens because my jaw is permanently on the floor and I am still shaking. Grab a drink, get comfortable, and let us dive into the madness together. I literally cannot believe what I just watched. I have been watching this show for years. I have seen people come back from the dead. I have seen evil twins. I have seen kidnapping plots that make absolutely no sense. But this takes the cake. I am typing this up late at night because I am so full of adrenaline and I just need to vent to people who actually understand the gravity of what is happening in Genoa City right now. Can we please talk about Victoria Newman and Kyle Abbott? First of all, I need to know what the writers were thinking when they even put these two in the same orbit romantically. I was already screaming at my television when the sparks started flying between them a few weeks ago. But when they actually shared that kiss, I gagged. I am sorry, but I physically cringed. Victoria Newman is a powerhouse. She is the ice queen of Newman Enterprises, a woman who has gone toe-to-toe with the most ruthless businessmen in the world. And she is swapping spit with Kyle Abbott. Kyle, the boy who literally throws a temper tantrum every time his daddy does not give him the co-CEO chair at Jabot. It makes zero sense for her character. Victoria has never, ever been into younger, immature men. Look at her track record. She likes men with gravitas, men with dark sides, men who challenge her on a corporate level. She married Cole Howard. She married Billy Abbott. She got completely conned by Ashland Locke. She had that whole messy thing with Nate Hastings. But all of those men, for better or worse, were grown adults who could hold their own in a boardroom without whining. Kyle is a literal child compared to her. He is so immature, he acts like a spoiled brat half the time, and the age gap alone is just no. But wait, I am getting ahead of myself because the kiss is not even the worst part. The kiss is just the setup for the most atomic bomb this show has dropped in a decade. So Victor Newman catches wind of this little romance brewing, and Victor, the mustache, sees everything, knows everything, and controls everything. Usually, when Victor interferes in Victoria's love life, it is because he hates the guy's guts. He hated Billy, he hated Ashland, he hated JT. Hell, he hates anyone who breathes near his daughter. But this time it was different. When Victor pulled Victoria into his office, he did not have that usual smug, arrogant look on his face. He looked panicked. Victor Newman looked genuinely terrified. And that should have been our first clue. You guys. Victor is never scared, but he pulled her into that office, closed the doors, and you could cut the tension with a knife. He looked at her with this heavy, dark expression, and he told her that she had to stop whatever was happening with Kyle immediately. Before it was too late. Victoria, of course, got defensive because Victoria always gets defensive when Daddy tells her what to do. She started pushing back, probably ready to give her usual speech about how she is an independent woman and she can date whoever she wants and Victor needs to stay out of her personal life. And then he dropped it. He looked her dead in the eye and said, Kyle is a Newman. He is my son. I screamed. I literally screamed at the top of my lungs. Am I the only one who had to rewind that scene 3 times to make sure I heard it right? Kyle Abbott, the golden boy of the Abbott family, the heir to Jabot, Jack Abbott's pride and joy, is Victor Newman's son? My brain short-circuited. I am still trying to process the sheer magnitude of those words. Victoria's face completely fell. She looked like she was going to be sick, And honestly, I felt the exact same way. Because do you realize what this means? They just kissed. Victoria and Kyle just kissed. They are half siblings. Oh my God. The incestuous horror of it all. I know soaps love to play with the whole we almost slept together, but oops, we are related trope. But this is so deeply disturbing because they actually shared a passionate kiss. Victoria was making out with her little brother. Victor had to literally step in and drop a nuclear family secret just to stop his kids from sleeping with each other. This is straight out of a Greek tragedy, and I am simultaneously disgusted and absolutely obsessed with the drama of it all. But okay, back to the point. Let us talk about the logistics of this, because I am losing my mind trying to connect the dots. Diane Jenkins, that absolute snake. I have never liked Diane. I've always said she was a master manipulator, but this is the most diabolical, evil, sociopathic thing she has ever done. Diane had an affair with Victor Newman, got pregnant, and passed the baby off as Jack's. Remember years ago, the whole sperm bank storyline, when Diane supposedly stole Victor's sample to have his baby, but then there was a mix-up and she ended up with Jack's, or at least that is what we were all told. That is what the DNA test said. But no, the writers are completely rewriting history right now, and I am kind of here for it because it makes Diane the ultimate villain. She did not just steal a sample. She actually slept with Victor. She had an affair with the man who's Jack's mortal enemy, got pregnant, and then looked Jack in the eye for decades and let him raise Victor's son. I cannot even begin to fathom the level of deception. Diane has been parading around Genoa City, acting like she is the perfect wife, the perfect mother, the matriarch of the Abbott family. She has been looking down her nose at Phyllis, at Nikki, at everyone, acting like her bond with Jack is untouchable because they share a son. And it was all a lie. Every single bit of it. And think about Victor. Victor has known this whole time, or did he just find out? Because if Victor has known for years that Kyle was his son and he just let Jack raise him, that is the most cruel, twisted, psychological torture I have ever seen. Victor has literally spent decades fighting with Jack, destroying Jack's companies, stealing his wives, and all the while he knew that Jack's only legacy was actually a Newman. That is so dark. That is so incredibly dark, even for Victor. But honestly, the person I am crying real tears for right now is Jack Abbott. I mean, can we just take a moment to think about Jack? Poor, sweet, tragic Jack Abbott. The man has been through hell and back lately. He was just kidnapped by Victor and almost died. He has been dealing with Patty Williams blackmailing him for sex. He has been out of his mind with worry because Diane was missing and ambushed by that creepy doctor, Markham. Jack is holding on to his sanity by a thread. And now this, when Jack finds out, and you know he is going to find out because secrets like this never stay buried in Genoa City, it is going to destroy him. It is going to literally break him into a million pieces. Kyle is Jack's entire world. Kyle is his namesake, his legacy, the future of Jabot. Jack has poured his heart and soul into raising that boy, into grooming him to take over the family business. The Abbott empire is built on the idea of family, on the legacy of John Abbott. And to find out that the heir to the Abbott throne is actually the spawn of Victor Newman, the man who has made it his life's mission to destroy the Abbotts, Jack is going to lose his mind. The Abbott empire is going to crumble. Jabot is going to go up in flames because if Kyle is a Newman, He has no legal or biological claim to the Abbott legacy. Victor could literally swoop in and use Kyle to orchestrate a hostile takeover of Jabbo from the inside. I am panicking just thinking about it. And wait. I realized something else. My brain is going a million miles an hour right now. If Kyle is Victor's son, that means Kyle is the half-brother of Victoria, Nick, and Adam, which means Nick Newman is Kyle's half-brother, which means Summer Newman is Kyle's niece. Oh my God. I am typing in all caps because this is the craziest thing I have ever realized. Kyle and Summer were married. They were husband and wife. They raised Harrison together. They slept together for years. And they are uncle and niece. I am going to throw up. I am actually going to be sick. The writers have completely lost their minds. And I am giving them a standing ovation because this is the messiest, most chaotic soap opera drama I have ever witnessed. How are they going to explain this? Summer is going to need years of therapy. Phyllis is going to literally burn the Newman Ranch to the ground when she finds out her daughter was married to Victor's son. Nick is going to punch Victor in the face. The fallout from this is going to touch every single character on the canvas. I know some people are probably hating this retcon. I know the purists are going to say that this ruins the Abbott family tree and it destroys years of established history. And yeah, maybe it does. But personally, I am living for the chaos because this show has been needing a massive, earth-shattering secret to shake things up, and this is exactly it. Think about the dynamics going forward. Adam is going to lose his mind because now there is another Newman son competing for Daddy's approval. Adam has spent his entire life fighting Nick and Victoria for a seat at the table, and now Kyle, entitled Whiny, Smug Kyle, is going to be thrown into the mix. Adam will destroy him. I cannot wait to see Adam and Kyle go to war over Newman Enterprises. And what about Nikki? Nikki Newman is going to have a full-blown meltdown. She just got her eyesight back. She just renewed her vows with Victor. They were supposed to be having a fresh start, and now she has to find out that Victor had an affair with Diane Jenkins, her mortal enemy, and produced a son. Nikki's going to hit the bottle again. I am calling it right now. There is no way Nikki stays sober through this. She hates Diane with a burning passion, and to know that Diane's child is Victor's flesh and blood, Nikki might actually kill someone. I just keep going back to that scene in the office, Victoria's face, the way her entire world just shattered in a matter of seconds. She went from feeling the butterflies of a new forbidden romance to realizing she was making out with her baby brother. The psychological trauma of that alone is going to send Victoria into a tailspin. She is already trying to keep the peace in the family. She is already dealing with Nick's drug addiction and rehab stint, and now she has to carry the heaviest secret in Genoa City history. Because Victor made it very clear, this is top secret. This cannot get out. If this gets out, Jack will be destroyed, the Abbott empire will fall, and the scandal will rock the corporate world. But Victoria is terrible at keeping secrets, and Kyle is going to want to know why she suddenly ghosted him. He is going to push her. He is going to demand answers. Kyle is so arrogant, he probably thinks Victoria is just playing hard to get because of the age difference. He is going to keep pursuing her, and she is going to have to keep pushing him away while knowing the sickening truth. I am so stressed out for her. I never thought I would feel bad for Victoria Newman because she can be so cold and calculated, but nobody deserves this. And let us circle back to Diane for a second. How is she going to survive this? When the truth comes out, Jack will throw her out on the street. He will never forgive her. Kyle will never forgive her. She will be a pariah in Genoa City. The only person she will have left is Victor, and Victor does not care about her. He only cares about his bloodline. Diane is going to be completely isolated, and honestly, she deserves it. She played with fire for decades, and now she is going to burn. I am just so overwhelmed by the sheer scale of this storyline. It touches the Newmans, the Abbotts, the Summers, everyone. It redefines decades of rivalries. It makes Victor's hatred for Jack even more complex because Victor has secretly held the ultimate trump card this entire time. I need to know what you guys think. Am I the only one who's completely losing their mind over the Summer and Kyle connection? Please tell me someone else realized they are uncle and niece now. I feel like I am taking crazy pills. I am going to be glued to my screen for the next month. I do not care what else is happening. I do not care about the Chancellor Winters corporate drama. I do not care about Matt Clark running around Las Vegas. I only care about this. The writers better not back out of this. They better not do a fake out DNA test in a month and say, oh, just kidding, Jack is the father after all. No, you're committed to the mess. Now you have to see it through. I want the tears. I want the corporate warfare. I want Jack Abbott throwing chairs through windows. I want Phyllis screaming in the streets. Give me all the soap opera goodness. All right. I need to go to bed because my heart rate is way too high and I have to work tomorrow. But please, sound off in the comments. Let us trauma bond over this episode. Tell me your theories. Tell me how you think Jack's going to find out. And let us pray for Summer Newman's sanity. Until next time, stay restless, my friends.